Good morning, Algebra Half students. As you can see, what is this staying away from each other is affecting me. I'm losing my good looks. I'm getting curly hair and all kinds of colors. What can I do? Well, I'm here to teach you your lessons for this week, and we will get started with your next lesson, which I believe is 117, dealing with x to the second power and the Pythagorean theorem. And here we go. Well, as you can see, 117 equations with x squared and the Pythagorean theorem. Anytime you have a letter squared, what it does is it sends the square. You're going to remove the square from here and put it here. It's plus or minus the square root of 16. Well, the square root of 16 is 4, so the answer is plus or minus 4, and I'll show you why. A positive and a positive is a positive 16. A negative 4 times a negative 4 is also 16. So anytime you see a letter p squared equals something, it's going to be plus or minus. Now in this case, this is not an even square root, so it's plus or minus the square root of 42. That's as far as I can go. So any of those answers that you cannot reduce anywhere, you're going to have like that. Okay, so that covers that portion of it. The next part is the Pythagorean theorem. This is the Pythagorean theorem. They give a great explanation about Pythagoras in your book. I encourage you to read it just to better understand it. He came up with a theorem that proved every right triangle. I can use this formula to find a missing side. For example, on this one right here. First, before I begin, your hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle. That's always going to be C. It doesn't matter the order of A and B, but it does on C. So I have a right triangle. I have a side of 5, a side of 4, and my hypotenuse I do not know. Well, each side is squared, so 5 squared, 4 squared equals C squared. 5 squared is 25, 4 squared is 16, and I leave it as C squared. When I add these together, I get 41. I bring my square root over here. It's plus or minus the square root of 41. You leave your answer as that. You circle it. Second example. My hypotenuse is 5, so I go 5 squared equals, doesn't matter which letter I use, 4 squared plus, whoop, I forgot my squared there. That should be A squared. Sorry. Squared, squared, squared. Okay. So then I have 25 equals 16 plus A squared. Subtract 16 from both sides. I get 9 equals A squared. A squared equals plus or minus 9. Well, we know the square root of 9 is 3. So it has to be a positive 3 because I can't have a negative number as a side. So that kind of makes sense. So it would be a positive 3. You do not include the negative answer. Here's another, my last example here. My hypotenuse is the square root of 5. Got m and I got 1. So the square root of 5 squared plus m squared plus 1 squared. Well, the square root of, square root of 5 times the square root of 5 is the square root of 25. So this would have been written out as square root of 5 times square root of 5. And that's where I got this answer here. Okay, so I have square root of 25 plus m squared equals 1. Then I have 5, because the square root of 25 is 5, equals m squared plus 1. Well, then I subtract 1 from both sides. I get 4 equals m squared. Come over here. M equals the square root of 4 plus or minus. So m has to be a positive 2 because once again you cannot have a negative number for a side. So that takes care of this lesson 117. I'm going to pause and I'll set up for lesson 118. I'll be right with you. Hello, Algebra Half students. I'm back. Kind of getting closer to my normal look, and hopefully I will get there by the next one. Okay, this is your next lesson. It's on English volume conversions, lesson 118, and let's get to it. Okay, so we have lesson 118, English volume conversions. So they're going to give you a short word problem like this. Use 3-unit multipliers to convert 14 feet cubed to inches cubed. Well, I want to set it up. I've got 14. I got feet cubed, so feet times feet times feet. This tells me that I'm going to need 3 unit multipliers. So whatever's in my numerator in my measurement, I want in the denominator to get rid of it. So my feet is down here. There's 12 inches to 1 foot. Okay, I cross out my feet because I've gotten rid of those. In multiplication, we're reducing. So then I'm left with 14 times 12 times 12 times 12. There's 3 inches, so inches cubed. Now you can write this as 14 times 12 cubed, as I did over here. 12 cubed, inches cubed. I want to see all this work. I want to see that on your paper. I'm not asking you to multiply this out. This will do as your answer from here on out. I've got another one. They want 140 yards cubed to inches cubed. And they tell me in the problem I need 6 unit multipliers. I want to see all of this on your paper or it's wrong. So I got 140 yards cubed. I'm getting rid of yards because it's in my numerator. I'm putting in my denominator. There's 3 feet per yard. Okay, I need to get rid of feet now to go to inches. So feet is in my denominator. 12 inches, 1 foot, 12 inches, 1 foot, 12 inches, 1 foot. I start crossing out. And I'm left with my answer, 140 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 12 times 12 times 12 inches cubed. Or I could have written this as 140. And I'll do that right here. 140 times 3 cubed times 12 cubed inches cubed. And that can also be my answer. That is fine. Okay, here's the last one. 50,163,529 inches cubed equals how many miles cubed? So I set it up over inches cubed. Remember, denominator, just look right there. 12 inches is 1 foot, 12 inches 1 foot, or 1 foot 12 inches. Then I'm going to get rid of feet, and I'm going to miles. 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. Okay, so I come over here. I wrote 50,163,529 over 12 cubed times 5280 cubed miles cubed. Circle my answer. That's how I want all of these done. Make sure you show all that. If you're curious, you can always use a calculator and figure these out if you really want to know the answers. But I am fine with you leaving it just like this. This is how you will do it in algebra, at least if you're going here in our algebra book. Okay, I'm going to put a pause and go with your last lesson, which is going to deal with the metric conversions. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, my features have returned, which has been kind of nice. But I decided to grow out my hair, and they tell me that blondes have more fun, so I thought I'd see if that was true. Okay, so we're doing lesson 119, metric volume conversion. On this, they have a problem here that have 1,451,600 milliliters. Well, 1 milliliter equals 1,000, let me go back. 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. You'll need to remember this because you'll have this in your lesson, this one right here. So it's a simple conversion. It's only one step. I've got milliliter, liters. You can leave, this would be my answer, or I could reduce it to 1451.6 liters if I divided this out. I would accept either answer there. Okay, here's another example. 1,400 meters cubed. How many centimeters is that? Okay, so it's 1,400 meters cubed times, I'm getting rid of meters again. Okay, just like up here, milliliters, milliliters, denominator, numerator, denominator, numerator, denominator. Okay, 3 times 100 centimeters equals 1 meter, 100 centimeters equals 1 meter, 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. So my answer is 1,400 times 100 cubed, centimeters cubed. Okay, if you wanted to solve that out, you can. They do give both answers, I believe, in your book. Okay, so that deals with these lessons here. Hopefully all of you are going to find these lessons a little bit easier as far as what you're doing here. Please get a hold of me if you're having any problems. I'd be more than willing to even do a Zoom with you personally, or I can send you a personal email or a personal video for problems that you're having solving. So have a good day, and we will talk to you later. Bye.